guys, welcome back to another episode of the Spitfire Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Lemunyan, the Spitfire coach and founder of Spitfire Institute. I hope you guys are having an amazing week, or if your week is just beginning, I hope that you are revved up and ready to go. Today, I'm talking about a single word. We're focusing only on one word because the simpler it is, the easier it is to understand, the more you will remember it. And I promise you that after today, after spending the next couple minutes listening to this podcast, you will never think the same way again about the word but. B-U-T. No double T, single T. The word but. It came up today in a coaching session, and I've been wanting to have a fun way of bringing this to you, and it struck me. No buts about it. I would like to create a suggestion, a policy change, a rule change, a regulation, a law about the word but. Why is that? Because when you use the word but, it is this clever little thing in our language that when we use it after a statement and then follow it with another statement, it completely cancels out the first statement. The example I used with my client is, I said, you're really smart, but I think you should do this differently. What do you hear? I'm not smart. I did something wrong. Whatever you say before the but no longer matters. Think about the last time you used the word but. Did you mean the first part of what you said? Or did you mean the second part of it? If you meant the first part of it, guess what it needs? A period. Not a comma but, just a period, or an and. Now, if you're not really a but person, there may be some other but-like words you have in your vocabulary. Although, however, you may be a fan of the semicolon. However you're putting it in there, and that's however, not a but. However you're using this, think about the message that you want to deliver to the person on the receiving end. This also has a carrying over power into the dreaded Oreo cookie feedback structure, and I call this the shit sandwich because it is literally fluff, shit, fluff. It is stuff you don't really mean, sandwiched in between what you want to say but don't really say, followed by something to kind of soften the blow. So if you want to be honest, make it about the truth. Make it about honest feedback. Make it about curiosity. So typically where but shows up is when we have an opinion. We want the other person to understand our opinion. We kind of want to make it seem like we get what they're saying, but we're not really caring. And we try to shove it through. If I'm on the receiving end and I'm hearing you say, so I hear what you're saying, you want to do this, but I think you're wrong. I'm only hearing you think I'm wrong. And immediately I am tuning out, I'm getting defensive, and I'm about to protect myself. I'm about to double down on my agenda. So I want you to focus on what your intention is. If you're working with someone, if you have a vendor, a client, a colleague, and you don't agree on something, you are at point A, they are at point B. But guess what? There's a whole lot of different steps between those 2 points. And it's up to you to understand, number one, what are their must-haves? What's really important to them? And number two, what are their deal breakers? What are the things that are immediately going to trigger a stress reaction? And I guarantee if you're using but, it's going to trigger it. Because at the core, every person wants to be acknowledged and validated. They want to be seen and heard. So our goal in communication is to seek to understand, not for just us to be heard, because that's one-way communication, and it's a one-way ticket to not getting what we want and to be frustrated and to, pound our fist in the air. This one word will set you up for failure every freaking time. I can't tell you how many times I have coaching sessions and I hear people say, I don't know what I said that was wrong. And I said, okay, I'm going to say exactly what I said back to you, and you tell me what it feels like. And all I do is switch but to and, or I create a period and create a new sentence. So this is a very simple exercise, and I want you to look at the emails you're writing or have written in the past and look for the buts. And then try to rewrite them into either 2 sentences, or an and. Use questions, use curiosity, and see how it makes you feel differently about the situation. It probably takes you from a posturing up, I have to tell you how it is, into, you know what, I want to collaborate. I want to see how this goes together. And also pay attention to how many times people are saying but to you. How is it making you feel? The more we are aware of the situation, the more power we have to change the situation to our favor. We go from being in the passenger seat where things are happening to us into the driver's seat where we're making things happen. So for the next week, I have a challenge for you. I want you to create a butt tracker. So grab a Post-it note, put it in your phone. I want you to write in big capital letters, but, B-U-T. And every time you say but or something in the but family, however, although, whatever, anything that feels like a but, I want you to mark it down. And I want you to see how many buts you're putting out there now that you're aware and how you're feeling about it. And also track how many times you're seeing but happen around you. There's a lot of but happening. This hopefully was fun. I wanted to bring a little levity to it because this is a very serious tool that can help you, but we can have fun with it. We can talk about the butts that we're not having. We can actually have a reduction in our butts. So, you don't need a holiday diet. You've got your language diet now. So be aware of how you're showing up, how you're communicating, how you're seeking to understand and getting to the heart of the matter instead of just putting your agenda forward. Seek to understand versus judging others. So I'm going to put together a nice little butt tracker image if you need it, and I'm going to create a worksheet for you and put it in the show notes and on our podcast page so that you can learn how to transform your language from but to curiosity and empowerment. I hope this was helpful. You guys keep spitting fire and keep being awesome.